Hello everyone, welcome to episode 16 of my Fabric Podcast. My name is Audrey and this is a podcast about weaving and knitting and other kind of fabric crafts. Welcome, I hope you had a nice week. I did. I'm enjoying the break from the lava atmosphere right now. We just went from 40 degrees to 20-25, so that's a nice change for a few days. This week I have quite a bit to show you, especially in knitting, and I also have a knitting book to talk to you about, and I will do that more towards the end of the episode. I have Sleepy Majestic Kitty on my legs right now, and he's just planting his claws onto my thighs, and I am just trying to make him understand that this hurts. So I'm just gonna sit there. Okay, it's fine. Let's just start with some weaving. As usual, I'm going to insert pictures of what I'm going to talk about because I am still working on that big commission and I am working on a big homemade loom, so there is no way for me to bring it here and show it to you. I'm coming close to an end, especially towards the blue side. I think I won't go a lot higher than that. I'm still going quite slow on it because I'm not sure about how I'm going to finish the top of this weaving, about how I'm going to hang it. I was thinking of using the weave itself to wrap around the wooden dowel and to sew it like this. That could be one of the options. And you're yawning, you can't see his face. Let me just... Did not like that. I'm hoping to finish it in the next 3 weeks. I will have to deal with the back of it, which is a horrendous mess. But considering the weave in itself is quite thin, I am not going to be able to weaving every end. It's definitely going to show and make a bumpy texture, and I don't want that. So I think I'll just have to make tidy knots and cut it as short as possible. For every one of the billion ends that are there. But I'm hoping to finish the main cat booty. I'm hoping to finish the main fabric this week. I hope so. Not so much to talk about on this weave. I haven't done any other weaving this week. I have some plans because my mom wants me to make her a bag for the summer. I probably have some weaving. Trying to recenter myself. Sorry. I probably have some more weaving once that commission will be done. I'll just have to look through my cotton fabric. Cotton yarns to have an appropriate fabric for a bag. Not that you can't have a woolen bag, but it has a tendency to be more fuzzy, and I don't especially like that, and I don't think my mother will either. So yes, I think I'm done with weaving. This section is becoming shorter and shorter every week. Maybe I should just say that I'm a knitting podcast before a weaving one. I don't know, it's just a phase, I guess. I go from one intense craft to another. I do enjoy weaving, especially small wall hangings. I am really focusing on knitting now and improving my skills and working towards some designs that I'll be getting on to when I'll finish that big commission. I'm just gonna go with knitting now. and I have a couple of finished objects to show you. First one was a test knit for Life is Cozy. The test knit ended last Saturday, so I think she will release the pattern soon. And it's these socks. I believe last time I had one finished already. Did I? I don't remember. But I have both now. They're blocked and nice and proper, and I really enjoyed that pattern. The texture is really nice and interesting. It's like a rib thing. The texture is in the construction itself rather than being, slip stitches or something. And it's really nice. It's super easy to follow. You really are able to read your knitting. So I would definitely recommend it if you are, have little bits of fluff everywhere. If you are a beginner knitter and you've knit a few vanilla socks, I definitely recommend this as a first texture sock. It gives a really satisfying effect for very little work. So yeah, I knit the smallest size, the 56 stitch one, and I knitted on 2mm needles. I believe it's US size 0, not sure. And yeah, it's a heel flap and gusset, and the toe is a bit short, but it works, I guess. Yeah, it's shorter than what I'm used to, that's all. But yeah, they fit, they're nice and snug, and I really like them. This was an Opal yarn, a solid yellow, and it does feel really sturdy. I think it's especially appropriate sock yarn. Whoa, Opal is an appropriate sock yarn. What a surprise. Anyway, what I mean is that it is really good and sturdy. However, it was not so pleasant to knit with it in the summer. Like, it was starting to get itchy on my fingers where the yarn was standing. It started being a little bit uncomfortable, and I had to go and wash my hands a lot. Yeah. So I don't know when she will release the pattern. When she will, I will link my project page to it, and you can find all the details on Ravelry. But yeah, one more socks. I believe this is my 5th pair. Yeah, it's the 5th. Socks number 5 that I've done, and I really like them. I have finished another pair of socks. Yes, because if you remember, I had 3 socks on the go, and I really wanted to have the test knit I had to have it done, and these one I have started a month or so ago, and I really wanted to finish them because the yarn and the pattern are beautiful. And yes, look, slightly bit of end poking through at the toe. There, it's gone. Professional podcaster here. And these are the driftwood socks. So this is a pattern by Minnie Philip. If you can see, it has this really nice texture effect. It's basically, well, it's not random because I specifically followed a certain sequence, but you can do this technique randomly to get a denser or a more spread out effect. And I think they turned out really, really nice, and it really suits the yarn. This is Reef Dye by Stranded Dye Works, which is Amy Florence. You can find her podcast as well on YouTube. And I think Minnie Philip's pattern work wonders with highly textured, highly variegated yarns. Yeah, usually you'd think that you couldn't well, it wouldn't be worth it to knit a texture socks with a really heavy speckled yarn, because it would just, the colors will just hit the texture. But in that case, it worked, and you can really see, well, when the light is not terrible, you can really see the texture of the sock. And I think it matches this blue speckled oceany yarn perfectly. I have to, just better, because I have 2 feet, 2 feet, 1 foot, 2 feet. And yeah, again, 56 stitches, 56 stitches on 2.25 this time. I don't remember. Or maybe I did the spring stream socks, the yellow ones, on 2.25 and these on 2. It doesn't make much a difference. These are a little bit bigger, but it's as well because I knitted the foot a bit longer, just to have a more comfortable fit, a more loose fit. And yeah, this was a German short row heel, the first time doing it, and let me show you the right one. Yes, if you remember the first one, I did a little mistake here. You can see an undesired yarn over that just ended up in the right side of the knit. But this was my second German short row heel, and as you can see, it's really nice. It's much neater than the fish lip kiss heel. The fish lip kiss heel has more of a bumpy effect when you knit your short rows again. When you start building the second half of the heel, you end up with a line that is not flat. Basically, it makes a bump on the wrong side of the fabric, and for me, it always looks like there's a strong dip basically in that area. But here with the German short row, the stitches just really neatly go around that turn and just follow a natural line, and it's flat and it fits really nicely. Heel flap and gusset is still the best fit for me so far, but this is a more mindless sock construction, and it works as well. I'm happy to discover that I'm not. Maybe I will become later on, but my feet seem to be quite forgiving about the sock, the size and the type of heels and toes that I knit. All my socks, regardless of the heel construction, fit quite well, and yeah, I just have to be careful to not make them too big, which usually happens if I am knitting on 9-inch circulars, which I will talk a little bit about in a second because I am knitting another pair of socks. But yeah, I just wanted to say that I used only a little bit over 50 grams. And I mean, for me, this is a normal length of the leg, even fairly long. I wouldn't mind it being shorter. And I only use a full 50 grams. So yeah, I guess I'm really economical with my yarn. But I'm just going to end up with big leftovers of sock yarn. And yeah, I don't mind it because I really like knitting stripy, scrappy socks. I'm thinking I will be able to do that quite soon because I already have quite a few of sock yarn left, either from socks or from shawls. I have interesting hand-dyed yarns that I think might look good in scrappy projects together. But what I mean is that, you know, sometimes like the Fable yarns, they are sold in 50 gram skeins, and yeah, I'm just thinking that maybe I don't necessarily need to buy 2 to make myself a pair of socks. So yeah, that's good news. More yarn for all the things. Yeah, I also have a few patterns by Orange Knits. I think I have her Jelly Roll and the one that she released. I think it's our Hawaii Roll socks. It's those shorty socks with the rolled cuff, and I am planning on making some. I just need to find a nice combination of yarn. I would like to use you can see the fringe in that wool hanging. It's Fly by Hedgehog Fibers, and I would like to use the leftovers that I have of this yarn. I have about 30 grams, so I think that'd be good for the contrasting color. And I just need to find a yarn that goes well with it, which might be a challenge. Obviously, this will. I would like something a little bit more unexpected as a combination. Yeah. But before that, I already have another sock on the go that I started a few weeks ago. And these are my first stripe socks. This is a Gobstopper Bowl by Laughing Yaffle. I believe the colorway name was She Sells Seashells. Look at that, I did it. She sells. No, I failed. That's a good time. Maybe I failed the first time again. I'll just notice when editing and be like, ugh. Anyway, tongue twister, blues and purples, and this is a really beautiful stripe sequence. Look at that. So it's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 5 stripe sequence, which is quite big. And yeah, I've knitted a little bit more on that. I am knitting them on 9-inch circulars. These are the 2mm or the 2.25. I think it's a 2.25 because these are my high sharps. And I'm knitting 60 stitches just because 56 stitches on 9-inch. It doesn't work. So I think these are 23 centimeters. And I think I have a pair of needles that is 20 centimeters. So maybe if I want to make 56 stitches, I should use these ones. I don't know what needle size I have. They're just a mess. And all mostly individuals, so. Yeah. So this will definitely be more of a loose fit. I don't mind because I also plan on making them English. I also plan on making them long. I am basically going to do my first ever afterthought heel by cutting into the knitting. I'm a little bit scared that I will mess it up, especially considering how beautiful this yarn is, but yeah, that's how I want to do them. So I'll just knit, and maybe when I'll have, I don't know, because this was 100 grams, maybe when I have 50, 60 grams left, I'll just, I'll just make the toe. Then I'll make the second one, and I will still use that for my afterthought heel because I want to see if I can get, sometimes they knit a heel. The knitting people knit an afterthought heel, and if it's stripy yarn, sometimes it ends up looking really perfect and making like short stripes and looking really nice, and I want to see if that works for me. So yeah, I won't use a contrasting heel for that one. Also because I don't have, well, I could dye a matching blue, I guess, but I can't be bothered. Snoring cat. No singing, I promise. Yeah, stripy socks. I need to get at them and finish them because I have to start some socks for my boyfriend as well. Speaking of which, I have started knitting more intensively on the Flux Sweater that I'm knitting for him as well. And oh God, I have casted this on. I casted this on a long time ago, quite a long time ago, and I was focusing on other big projects, but now it's my only big knitting thing. So I basically went at it, and this is what I have so far. So this is the worsted weight version of the Flux Sweater. Flux Sweater, which is a pattern by Tinker Knits. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and you have the worsted and the fingering weight version, and it's a basic top-down sweater with a garter stitch details on the arms. And yay! I'm really loving how it looks. It looks really comfy, and it goes so fast. Like, I'm already knitting on the body, and I already have all of this done, which is quite good. As for the fit, I am knitting the small medium size. Yes, the small medium size. And for me, I would probably knit either the extra small or the small. So I know that, knowing my body shape and my boyfriend's body shape, I know that it has to be slightly oversized for me, especially on the shoulders and sleeves. So yeah, since I don't have my boyfriend near me to make him try it on, I know I tried it on myself and it seemed good to me. I really hope it will fit him too, and that he will like it. The thing is, with top-down sweaters knitted in a round, if you have a proper yoke, like for example feral sweaters or Norwegian, Scandinavian sweaters, and it's a proper yoke, meaning that it's really a round, it looks quite feminine to me, unless it's an oversized sweater, in which case it just looks like an ugly Christmas sweater. But it looks quite feminine to me. And I don't want to seem... I've seen a few men's sweater patterns that were quite nice, but they were all seamed. I don't like that. Maybe I should just force myself and make one, because I know it's good. I know it's a good construction and stuff, but seaming, yeah. I much prefer knitting in the round, so I am quite happy for raglan shapes, because with these increased lines here, it makes a structure, so it doesn't look feminine to me. And the shoulder panel, the garter stitch, makes it as well a little bit more constructed, and it doesn't look as round. And I wish the light wasn't sucky. I mean, it's not sucky on me, but it's sucky when I try to show you something. Yeah. So this is some yarn that I hand dyed myself in a green, forest green color. And I am alternating skeins. I was alternating a very, like, one of the darkest skeins that I got and one of the lightest. And I've saved some of the lightest to keep alternating on the sleeves, so I don't have a line. And I'm alternating these two. So this is the remaining from the top, and another one that is more of a medium shade. And I'm hoping that it won't look too bad, but you can see that it's just darker here. Yeah. It's better on this side. If it gets... I feel like I've done a lot of extra noises this episode, like I've been bumping on things and stuff. I am sorry if that's the case. Yeah, I should just make more space at my desk when I film. Anyway, if it gets too dark and it's really obvious, which it's not really, it's okay, because there still have some lighter stitches here. I'll just cut this dark one, and I still have 2 full skeins, and one of which is, I think, slightly lighter than this one, so yeah, it might look more uniform, but so far so good. And I mean, it's hand dyed, so it's how it is. Can't be perfect. It's okay. It's just on the back that it seems like no light stitches I've handed here. I've decided that that's the back, by the way, because there's really no backs and fronts in this pattern. But yeah, I'm really liking this, especially as a basic garment. You know, if you omit the garter sleeves, you basically have a full-on raglan, easy to knit stockinette sweater. So it would be quite easy to implement. That was so French, to implement. Like cables or lace panels, something to make it a little bit more interesting. So yeah, I'm really glad I got to try it, because I have a basic sweater recipe that I can twist however I like. So this is all for my knitting whips this week. I am ready to cast on a new big project, and it is the Saturate shawl by Orange Knit. If you remember, I think I showed you a couple of weeks ago my plans for it, and I've printed the pattern. And I've wound up the yarn. So, oh my god, I wound this up yesterday, and I don't know what was up with me, but that was a nightmare. My ball winder, I couldn't get it to work. So I know all 5 of my cakes are bad and that I'm going to get knots. Maybe I should knit from the outside. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Remind me if I forgot. I probably will forget, but I should really knit from the outside for this project, because I don't want to deal with a pattern that, looking at it, it seems like it's going to be the most complicated thing I've done, and deal with knots. So yeah, this will be my Saturate shawl by Orange Knits, and I can't wait to cast it on. I probably will later today. And yeah, let me show you my cakes. This is Teacup and Heyday, both by Hedgehog Fibers, and this looks really nice caked up. It really looks like confettis, and it's a really nice color. Can I just say, the skeins weren't so good. Maybe I wasn't lucky, but yeah, I had a lot of loose strands, but nothing tangled. It's just that since I was also poorly managing my ball winder, it's just overall was a pain. I don't know what happened. Basically, the yarn kept, so you see this pattern, the yarn kept sliding off and just rolling around the bobbin, which is what makes knots. And I don't know, it seemed like I was either holding the yarn too tight, too loose, I wasn't going fast enough, I was going too fast. It's just, there are days where it doesn't work, and yesterday was one of them, but I really wanted to cake them up. So it took me an hour to cake 5 skeins, but I did it. So yeah, after Heyday I have a one-of-a-kind skein made by Black Elephant, and caked up you really see that they match really well, so I'm happy. After that, another one-of-a-kind skein made by Black Elephant. I was hesitant because, as you can see, this has quite a big proportion of grey. It's a light grey still, and I'm blue now. I'm blue. It's probably going to get stormy, so that's why the clouds and the wind have started. Grey, like the weather, and not grey, but this is my last color. All of these are one-of-a-kind skeins made by Black Elephant. So, this is my transition, because this is highly yellow and orange, and if I do it like that, which was also what I considered because I wanted to go from light to dark, but the yellow here seems out of place. Do you see what I mean? So I chose to do it like this. My little Yarnflakes Tour de Piece. It's never going to hold. Yeah, this will be my saturate shawl. I like it. It's going to be quite light. I've seen really dramatic tonal versions of it where people would go from a speckled cream into a really dark, intense blue, navy blue, and those are beautiful. If you go through the saturate shawl hashtag on Instagram, some of the projects are just gorgeous, but I found that I really wanted to knit with singles, and this transition that I got in my stash is perfect. So yeah, I will cast this on today and hoping that it will go well. It's a Nycord cast on and thing, and I've never done a Nycord. I've watched tutorials and it seems understandable, so I just have to focus and not be doing other things at the same time, and I think it should be good. Yeah, so with that, I believe this is all for knitting as far as project knitting goes, and yeah, I have done some spinning since it's less hot and I'm not just a felting machine. I was able to spin a little bit. This is Merino. So just, I can't believe I forgot how to pronounce it. Anyway, this is some Merino Roving that is dyed in shades of reds and orange and yellows, and I've done a little bit on it. Not so much, but I've done quite. I have the full 100 grams that I need to spin, and I'm using my lovely Turkish spindle, which is really beautiful, and I really like it. That I got from Cherry, which is an Etsy shop, which is from Russia, and she has a lot of different spindle sizes, and I believe she has other kinds of spindles as well. And it has a hook, so it's really convenient. I haven't showed it in a while, so that's why I talked about it again. I'm making my cob. I feel silly today. I'm really sorry. I feel really silly. But yeah, spinning. I plan on making this a 2-ply, so I've divided my braid, and yeah, I really need to get going on this. And the need or the want or the envy for a spinning wheel is because I have so many nice spinning plans. I have some silkies, hand-dyed hankies, silk that I want to spin, and I have my 600 grams of alpaca that I want to spin to be able to knit a shawl out of it. And I'm just looking at the people with a spinning wheel that go like, oh, I finished my 100-gram bobbins. And I'm like, ugh. I love drop spindles. They're portable, they're fun, they're relaxing to use, they're nice, but yeah, sometimes I wish I would have a faster solution to spin. But yeah, I guess I'll have a spinning wheel in a couple of years if I'm good and stop buying yarn. Yeah. Besides that, I have also dyed some yarn, and I've dyed them for me. If you remember, I said that I wanted to dye some self-striping yarn, so I have yet to do that. I have made 12 meters skeins. I could just show them to you. Let me grab them. Yes, if you're unaware, when you are dyeing self-striping yarn, you need a very long skein so that the color repeats are long enough so that you have, say, I calculated that I need something like 3 meters to have like a good stripe. So what I did is that I placed 2 chairs at the 6 meters distance so that I could have a 12-meter circumference skein. And this is one I crocheted it like, you know, when you chain a warp for a flow loom. So yeah, this is what it's looking like crocheted, and I have a second one. So then I have yet to dye them. My plan is to have one with pink, grey and coral stripes, and one with, what did I say, orange, a quite rusty reddish orange, tobacco brown, cream, so leave some undyed, and a minty light green. So those are the plans. I'll be doing it maybe not now, not soon, because it just needs me to like put a lot of bags on the floor of the garage and try not to put dye everywhere, basically. But I had 3 skeins of yarn, hand-dyed sock yarn left, and I wanted to dye some for me because I haven't actually. I never did. So yeah, I can show them to you. This first one is a complete rip-off of all wool that ends. Oh my god, I can never remember her yarn shop. I'll put the link in the description below. She makes gorgeous skeins where you basically have a main color, which can be grey, blue, purple, white, black, mint, and then you have a rainbow at the end. So you end up with a knitted fabric that is like mainly white, grey, purple, mint, with specks of the rainbow colors, and that is absolutely gorgeous. And she's from the UK, but the shipping is a bit expensive, which I understand because it is. So I just decided to copy it, basically. So I'll put the link to her shop in the description if you want to have a look. Hers are much more beautiful than mine. But yeah, this is my copycat skein, basically. So I really liked the grey version, so I dyed a grey, a medium grey, and then I did my rainbow. Purple, red, orange, yellow, green and blue. So yeah, this is how it looks. And I think this idea is absolutely beautiful, and yeah, if the shipping wasn't so expensive, I'll just buy all the versions that she's making because they're gorgeous. But I'm quite happy that I gave it a shot myself and that I decided to do my own thing rather than buying more yarn. Yeah, this will be socks. These will be socks. And I have two other skeins, because you remember last time I showed you hand-dyed yarn, I said that I wanted to try to have more subtle pastel colorways and rainbow, but but I did try to have more subtle things, including a darker one like this one. So this is a blue, a navy blue with grey, a slightly lighter grey than the one I just showed you, and brownish yellow mustardy speckles. Yeah. I originally wanted it to be darker than what it is, but I do like this combination. It looks like a slightly bigger version of and better version of my Ravenclaw mini skeins that I showed you a long time ago. So yeah, if I will probably do it again, slightly twisted for it to be better, and call it Ravenclaw. But yeah, that's the idea. And the last skein that I dyed is this one. And again, this wasn't supposed to look like that. This was supposed to be mint, very light blue, and small red speckles. So again, I do like it, but my original idea, I really like it. So I think I might do it again someday for the shop, if you like them, because yeah, I just wanted it to be mostly light blue and mint. And what happened is that my skein was too wet. There was too much water there for the speckles to stay speckles. So the red dye spread a lot and made those patches. It's nice as well. I really like how it's looking. And with the mint and the small bits that are left of the sky blue, I think it looks really nice. It looks like a nice cream. And yeah, so if I have to work it again for the shop, I will make sure to have just red speckles on these. But yeah, now I don't have any more bare yarn, so these won't happen anytime soon. But I'm glad that I dyed some yarn for me, and I can't wait to work them up and see how they knit, because I've knitted samples just to see how the yarn felt, how the yarn behaved, but I've never knitted a complete item out of my hand dyed. So yeah, that's exciting, and I can't wait to try those little hand dyed. And I'm looking at my show notes. If you're wondering where the hell are my eyes going, it's because I have my nice little notebook with my show notes just here. So yes, spinning, dyeing, and the last thing I have to show you is my cross stitch. If you remember, I started cross stitching a couple of months ago, and I'm working on a pattern Kit by The World in Stitches, which is a folk inspired, Polish folk inspired pattern with a fox. Well, two foxes, because basically this will be reproduced, and that hoop is annoying me because I constantly have to retension the fabric. People have told me on Reddit that I should maybe use a plastic hoop because they grip the fabric better. So yeah, maybe I should just get a plastic hoop, but to be honest, I'd rather try stitching without any hook, just by hand, because I feel like I will have to do that anyway for bigger projects, not to get creases from hoops and other kind of frames. But yeah, this is what I have so far. My fox has almost a completed head. It has a beautiful tail, and there's some details of the surroundings and the other fox. Basically, I'm picking a color and I'm just making the stitches in that color until I run out of the thread, and then I change color. And yeah, this is what I have so far. It's looking good. I'm working really slow on it, and it's funny because it is the easiest craft that I'm doing, and I'm going the slowest at it. Like, I'm trying to knit as fast as possible. I'm trying to weave really fast, but cross stitching, I'm just taking my time, and I guess this is my slow, peaceful thing, and it's really easy and repetitive, so yeah, that's a nice break from other crafts, and I can't wait to do some more. And with that, I've showed you all my projects in all the crafts, and I wanted to talk to you about a knitting book that I got recently. I really like knitting books. I don't know, I really like books in general, and craft. I have a thing for crafts book, like any craft, even cooking books, but like I would just stay in the craft hobby books sections in libraries and just get everything, even if it's for kids, you know. I don't know, I think they're often really nice, and they're really working together. I don't know, I think it's nice. I'm definitely not eloquent today. Anyway, the latest knitting book that I got is this one. This is A Second Treasury of Knitting Patterns by Barbara G. Walker. And these are a classic series. She has 4 books. It's basically a stitch dictionary or collection of patterns, and yeah, they seem to be quite a big deal and quite like a reference. And they're quite old, and I will go back to that in a bit. I believe this one, let me check. Yeah, 1970. So, yeah, books older than me. They're quite expensive. There are 4 of them, and on Amazon I've seen them at around 40 euros each. It's a lot. So I managed to grab a copy that was used, so it was a little bit cheaper, which is good. But yeah, I would like to have them all, but I had to make a choice, and I chose the second one because from all the reviews it seemed that this one was a little bit more complete about lace knitting. You know, I love lace knitting, and my idea was to get a good stitch dictionary to get inspiration from if I want to design shawls, and if I also want to, like I said, implement panels of lace or cables in sweaters that I'm knitting for myself. So yeah, there's a lot of patterns there. There's a lot of really nice patterns. The textures some are really impressive. And what I've did is that I've taken some masking tape and I've marked the one I really liked. Like for example, this one. This is just really nice. And yeah, so it's basically a stitch dictionary, and you have some simple knit pearl texture, you have cables, you have lace, you have as well borders and edges, and eyelets and stuff like that. And I mean, look at that. It's a house. It's a knitting house. And yes, some of those patterns I am really thinking of working with them and trying them. This is, for example, a mesh that I really like, the first one. And it's a big book. I like big books. And I cannot lie. And it is in good condition, even though it's used. And look at this one. These I really like. And yeah, some of them I don't like, but I guess that's normal. But there is none that I really don't see myself using ever. None of them seems dated. It's just stitch patterns. So basically, if you implement them in a modern way, it just works. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with them. These versions of like diamonds I really like as well. Yeah, so overall, really happy that I picked this one because it has a really good lace and eyelets and yarn over section. But I also really liked the knit pearls textures, and the cables are nice as well. I should really get on knitting more cables, and I think this will definitely get me inspiration to do so. My phone stopped recording, like in every episode, and yeah, Sleepy Kitty is back here. So I didn't see when it stopped, so I don't remember what I was saying. But yeah, this book is really good. It gives a lot of inspiration, and it also, the instruction seems quite easy to follow, and ouch. And she also gives a method to be able to transfer it into circular knitting, which is really convenient in case I want to make them in a sweater or in socks instead of just flat knitting. But yeah, there was just a few things that I wanted to talk about. And it's just, yeah, I don't know if it's the fact that in the 1960s and 70s, it's just, it's just cat hair. It's just normal for that period. But yeah, there's a couple of things. Like, for example, she hates a lot on stockinette and garter stitch. She really looks down on it, and she's basically saying that if you're knitting a full stockinette garment, then it's completely useless and it's not proper knitting. I'm sorry. It's just that I think color has an interest as well, and whether it's pretty hand-dyed yarn or a really good rustic wool with a perfect shade of grey or cream or something that really suits you and suits a garment that you're making. I think it's good, and it stimulates my mind in a different way than texture, but it still is stimulating. And yeah, she even looks down on feral because it's just stockinette. Yeah, but I mean, it's still feral, and it can get pretty engaging as far as the knitting goes. It's nothing dramatically complicated, but if you look at it, nothing is dramatically complicated. And why would I bother making a rib if I don't want a rib just because I have to purl, and then it's just not that stupid stockinette stitch, you know? Yeah, that's just something that, like, when I read it, I was a little bit put off by it and thought, okay, different state of mind. And the other thing is that she addresses the reader as female. And I know about statistics and all. And I'm not blaming the author or the book because, like I said, 1970. But it's just that I'm thinking, yeah, well, if I was a guy reading this, I wouldn't be so happy about the author thinking that just women read her book. You know, it's like when you play video games and the game is just shouting in your face that you're not its target audience, and in a really obvious way, so to say. And that makes me uncomfortable, and that makes me not want to play the game. And yeah, I kind of feel like this can have the same effect as well if you're a man knitting and you're reading a knitting book, and then the book thinks you're a girl because, you know, only girl knits. Yeah, it's just a few things that I've thought about when reading it. Again, it's an old book, so yeah, it's just some reflections on how the knitting community works. And to be honest, I doubt that it's very much different now. I'm pretty sure that if you look at many craft book, knitting book, or whatever craft, I'm pretty sure it's most of the time female oriented, and you know, it just makes me think. I've also watched the Pin Feathers and Pearls podcast yesterday, and at the end she says how she started her podcast because she didn't see any. Bye-bye, cat. She didn't see much Asian community in the knitting world. Like, I can't speak for that, obviously, but I can understand, and I notice sometimes that it's quite close. Yeah, sometimes things like reading a book and it excluding you as a potential audience is a bit, yeah, it mustn't be so pleasant. And yeah, I don't really know where I'm going with this. I just felt like mentioning it and saying that I would hope for a little bit more inclusiveness in the knitting world. Yeah, I'm gonna have to edit that to make sure that it makes sense and it's not just long phases of me going but yeah, I just felt like talking about it, and yeah, I feel like we should think about those sort of things. And my cat is climbing on things. He's usually not climbing into. I think he just wants to get out. So I'm going to stop that here and wish you a happy day, night and week, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.